Alright, starting today in a seated position, we're going to start to just make some circles with the spine, with the hip joints, moving specifically through the hips, warming up, getting ready for middle split. We're going to start to make some waves with the spine, maybe widening our circles, getting further into the spine, the shoulders, maybe the neck. Come into a butterfly position with your soles of your feet together. Press down firmly onto your knees as far as they'll go, working to get your thighs to touch the ground. If that feels okay, maybe bow your head forward. Rest there for a minute. Really pressing through those knees. Breathing through the stretch. I'm going to do the same position, but widen my feet apart from each other, just to get even further into those hips. So pressing down as far as you can go without any sharp pains. Again, maybe trying to lower the head down to the ground if you can. Still working on that one. Starting to get really warm in the hip joints. Let's come up into a low squat. It's called Garland pose. Starting to wiggle around a little through the hips again. And your ankles can be flat on the ground or up. Pressing with your elbows on the inside of your knees, you're going to be pressing outwards. Pressing even further into that right knee. Firmly pressing, feeling that burning sensation in the hip socket. Take it to the other side. Press that knee outwards. Breathing through the stretch. Wiggling ourselves up. We're going to come into a nice forward fold, wide-legged. Widen your stance. We're going to bring our body to one side, stretching into the hamstring on that leg. Maybe take a little twist. And slowly snaking our way to the other side, grabbing onto that right ankle, pulling our body towards that leg. Take a twist if you like. Stay here for as long as you need to get really loose through those legs. Breathing into the discomfort. And rising back up. Maybe we take a stretch forward if your hips are strong enough. I'm going to scooch my feet back towards the center and take a small goddess pose. Same thing as we did with our garland. We're going to start to build up even more heat in the hip sockets. So coming back down into our butterfly position, loosening up again. Take a deep breath and prepare for a straddle split. Widen your legs as far as they can go naturally. And maybe give them a little scooch further with your hand. Maybe wiggling your foot to allow them to come as far as they can. Get comfortable here because we'll be here for a little while. Taking those hip circles once again in this position. Getting used to that feeling of the burning. Really, really wide. Pausing in any areas that feel especially tight. Grabbing onto that left foot, we could take a little bit of a twist to the side. And coming to the other side. Wiggle it out. Rocking those hips back and forth. You want your hips as flat as you can on the ground. Simply rocking your pelvis forward. I'm going to turn to the side a little, show you what I mean. So your legs are as far apart as they can go, and you're simply just tilting your pelvis forward towards the ground in front of you without moving your legs. Your knees are still facing towards the ceiling. You're just rocking that pelvis forward. As you can feel, it'll feel a little more intense as you rock forward. Whenever you're ready, you'll fall into the middle split. Push yourself up for a little bit more of an intense stretch. Keep breathing through that intense pain. Just remember, as long as there's no sharp pain or popping or numbness, you can keep going through the burning stretch. We're going to come into it again. So the knees are facing towards the ceiling. Your feet can be flexed upwards or pointed, as I am. But your pelvis is just rocking forward until you get into the middle split. So back and forth and all the way forward. Take prayer hands behind my back. Breathing deeply into that stretch. Breathing through the pain. Pressing down with your hands a little bit. Relaxing those muscles that are stretching. If that feels okay, push yourself up for a more intense stretch. To come out, you'll very slowly walk those feet back to the center. Wiggle them out a little. Take a big deep breath and come into a nice pike. And to end, we'll just cross our legs. Take a